Awesome. You good?
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. Can you just tell us your name and what you do?
I am Carmen Maria Machado. It's weird saying this stuff. I'm Carmen Maria Machado, and I'm a writer. And what else am I? Wait, what do I do?
Yeah.
I'm a writer. I'm a teacher. I'm a sinner. I'm a saint. I do not feel ashamed. Sorry, never mind. That's from a song. Forget it. Yeah, I'm a writer.
with you.
I'm a writer and a teacher. Okay.
That's a lot of things right there. The book that's out now is Memoir, so you're working with the form nonfiction. And what was it like working in the nonfiction form, and what were the awesome tools and the formal constraints that became advantages for you?
I mean, yeah, so nonfiction is a whole different animal for me. It's much harder, it's much slower. So fiction, I could write fiction all day, even fiction that is about hard topics. Like, I find it comes out very easily. And nonfiction, I only really write like one essay a year. Like, I'm always thinking about essays, but I mean, the thing about nonfiction is a lot of nonfiction is trying to figure out what you think and like giving meaning to what has happened to you. And those are like the hardest things in the world. And so I find nonfiction very challenging, and I sort of have said after this book, I'm like, I don't want to do that again. It was like really hard.
Obviously, this book really examines in multi-layered depth a key relationship you had in your life, right? Mm-hmm. And it takes a lot of courage to go into that, write that story. Are there things that you might have thought that you were doing as you went into this project, but then you discovered along the way that really surprised you? You were going for one truth, but like mm-hmm. 3 others came out of the woodwork.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think in the beginning there were a lot of things about the project that I didn't know were coming. So a lot of the research I did, which I sort of wanted to do as a way of sort of getting me into a contextual and historical space. Like reading a lot about sort of the way that like the conversation about queer domestic violence like happened in like the 80s and 90s. Like I didn't know any of that, and it was really surprising and interesting. And I read a lot about like women who commit murder, and like the way that we talk about women who are violent, or women who sort of break these like sort of codes that we have about femininity. It sent me to a lot of sort of, I hate to say epiphanies because it's just such a cliche, but like there were a lot of like things that surprised me where I was like, oh, I suddenly have like a theory about this, or I have like an idea about this. So I mean, obviously I knew what I was going to write about regarding myself, but I was really surprised by like a lot of the stuff that came out of like the more sort of like the more essayistic pieces of the book. Yeah, just like a lot of things about the way that queer communities sort of succeed or don't succeed. Or have succeeded or not succeeded in like talking about this topic, and sort of the legal sort of thorniness of it, and I don't know. It was it was really interesting, and there was a lot of stuff that I definitely came out being like, like I did not expect that. But I guess that's why you do research, right?
That's great. There's you as the artist, there's you as the teacher, there's you as just you with mm-hmm. With your wife. Like. How do all those pieces sit together for you, the way that you view the person that you're trying to be, in your best form, in your best shape in terms of...
Oh, I see. Wow, it's a good question. I mean, I think there's always this sort of the struggle of, I'm only one person, I only have so much time, and there's so many things I want to do. I mean, I'm actually becoming really interested. Like, I'm working on a comic book right now, and I've been really loving it. And I've been, like, thinking about other forms that I want to try, and, like, video games and movie scripts, and I have all these ideas for all kinds of stuff. And so part of me is like, I just want to like be making things all the time, but I also like really love teaching. So I don't know. So I think I'm still trying to figure out exactly what my sort of adult, because I mean, I've only really sort of come into myself as like an artist, professionally speaking, in the last like couple of years. And so I'm still trying to figure out like how to balance my practice with my life. I also really like cooking, so like this summer, like I had foot surgery and I was off my feet and it was horrible, and then like I got back on my feet, and then I had like a month for teaching, and every day I made like a really fancy dinner, and it was so relaxing, and I was like, this is all I want to do. I just want to be a housefrau. I just want to make sure the keep the mantle dusted and like make really fancy dinners, which is like not actually what I want to do with my entire life, but like it just was so soothing and lovely, and I I was just like, man, this is great. Like I can do this every day. I just feel so happy doing it. You know, I feel happy like creating and like cooking and like just having that sort of thing. So yeah, so I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out like where is the balance between like a certain kind of home life that I want. Because that's why I just like being at home. I like my house. I like my being with my, wife and not being on the road. We're gonna get a dog soon. So I'm like very excited about that. So like, I'm like, that's actually kind of what I want to do. But I also want to like do all this other stuff. So I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out like what it is that, like what it's gonna look like. And for now, I'm just, I don't know, just playing by ear, seeing how it goes.
Yeah. What advice would you give someone if they're maybe looking to be in an MFA program, but maybe they do that, or maybe they can't do that? What are the practices and the thoughts that they should be keeping in mind? What should they value as they maybe try to take that next step to go from just in their basement or in their living room to the professional artist?
I mean, everybody's different. I think you have to figure out, I think a thing that I notice a lot as a teacher and sort of doing like events and things, like people do get very focused on things like publication. And I have never, like, I remember like when I was here at Iowa, like beloved Sam Chang saying to all of us, like, y'all need to calm down. She didn't say it that way, she was very nice, but she basically was like, you guys need to stop focusing on publication, like write a good book, like you're here, like that's the point of being here. And I think people get very ahead of themselves and they like get thinking about all this professional stuff, but it's like actually like you need to figure out like what are you trying to say and how are you trying to say it, and you need to like really like figure out what your practice is and like who you are as an artist and like what it is you're trying to say, and like make something beautiful, like make something interesting and good, and then the other stuff, that'll come later, and like there'll be, that's going to be a whole thing, but like, the whole point of like wanting to do it is like you want to create something, and that's like really special and no one can take that away from you.